Hello, everyone. This is Lady K with Lady K Motivates. I am so excited for you all to be here. This is Monday. It is the holiday season, and I am just excited about this celebratory time of the year. I want you all to go in and tag and share, I have my Christmas music going, but today we have a special guest. And this is going to be awesome. Today's show is you need a community advocate. You need to be active in the community. I have somebody coming on that is active in the community, that is an activist, an advocate, that has helped different people, has helped different political campaigns, has been a bridge builder between people to get different things done in the community. And I am just so excited to have Mr. Whitfield Leland on. I want you all to go ahead, like I said, and tag and share what I am doing right now. So we're just going to take a moment to get that going before I bring him on to the live stream, okay? So just one moment here while I get that going. Hold on one second. I have my Christmas music on. I'm so happy you guys are on here joining so we can get this going. Okay, so without further ado, I'm going to have Mr. Whitfield Leland come on. And he is our special guest today. Again, this show is called You Need a Community Advocate. You need an activist who's going to fight for you. You need to be a law-abiding citizen. You need to be involved in civic duties. A lot of us don't think we need to be involved, but being involved in civic duties has really helped me as a parent. People, when I wasn't around, people grabbed my children that knew me in the community. People were community connections, different services that I might have needed or you might have needed when they have free food drives, school drives, or back to school. These are different things. You have to stay active in the community. It's so important. So without further ado, I'm going to go ahead and add Mr. Whitfield Leland. Good afternoon, Mr. Leland. I am so glad to have you on Lady Motivate. Today, just want to thank you for coming on. I have my Christmas music on. I'm in celebration mode. We're closing out the end of the year. And today's show is entitled You Need a Community Advocate, a Community Activist. I know you've been in the trenches for a while doing what you do, being a good example of what we all need to do, our civic activity, that our due diligence, that we all need to be involved in. So just go ahead and tell me and a few others about yourself. I know a lot of people know you, but a lot of people don't. So tell me who you are and what you represent. What's your company?
My name is Whitfield Leland III. I started the Community Roundtable a little over a year ago because I actually started almost 5 years ago with building a nonprofit called Link Up. And in the process of building Link Up, we noticed in the communities that the citizens of the community really wanted change, but didn't know how to express it or didn't have that bridge between them and those elected officials who sit in the seats to make those changes. So we became a voice for the community as far as the community roundtable, so we can bring not only the resources that the community need, but speak up for the resources that they put in the community that we don't need. It's been a journey, but I can say this though, God has really blessed me, showed me some very, very important things. He showed me that we as a community that we really have to stick together as a Black community. We see it every day in every other community, as far as white people, brown people, Hispanic people, whatever you want to, however you want to label them. But when it comes down to our community, we really, really struggle with trusting the next individual in our business. And I think that at a certain level, we should trust at a certain level. And when I say a certain level, it means me trusting you to do what you need to do so we can be stronger together. Because as individuals, we can't get nothing done in our community as individuals. It's only a small bit of success, and it only reaches a small, 9 out of 10 is only within that circle of that person who's trying to get that reach their goal. So with me, it's like it's just really trying to getting us redirection in the community where we can take care of ourselves, we can sustain ourselves, we can have better jobs, better paying jobs, we can be more better business people as Black people and have actually more money. More money in our community bring us out of poverty. And a lot of us don't look. A lot of us may think that that's really not true. But if poverty is not having money in the community is the root of the poverty. It's not the crime or whatever else that they label it. It's because there's no money there. So my goal is working to get the Black community funded in resources program, funded with businesses, and actually help us grow as individuals. And it's going to take all of us. It's not just one individual. So that's what I've been working on the last 5 years. We made a lot of progress. We teamed up with a lot of people, a lot of commissioners, a lot of state representatives, a lot of judges. I mean, everybody's on the team. Everybody's on board with trying to move forward. Our biggest thing is putting a plan in place and executing that plan. Like you say, execute now.
Right. I'm all about executing now, moving forward, not just talking about it, but actually putting your feet to the ground and getting in those places where people are that can bridge together and make those connections. Now, let me ask you, you say you've been doing this, you've been on this journey for 5 years. What is your passion? What fuels you to getting people connected to the right source and getting being in the political scene? What's your fuel? What's your passion behind this?
It's a long story, but I'll give you a little brief. Well, when I was younger, I actually was one of the people, one of the individuals that was subject to racial discrimination, systematic racism. I've been incarcerated. I had been in the streets. I had my share of issues with the law. And all of it really boils down to understanding the individual that actually engaged in those activities. I've always been a smart dude. I've always had good sense. And I've always had a good group of friends. I just made some bad decisions. And you can blame that. I can sit here and give you a million reasons why that happened to me, or come up with an excuse of me not taking ownership and realizing who I was within inside of myself and understanding that I'm either going to make a difference or be indifferent. You know what I'm saying? So, and in my journey, I've always relied, because I grew up in a home with my grandmother where we always put God first, and it's always been in me to do something for my community. And when I was in prison, man, it was a lot of things. I studied the law. I paid attention to what was going on outside, and somebody has to be able to say, okay, I was there. I understand. Maybe we need to do it this way, because what is happening is it's a lot of people making decisions for people like me, like the people in our community that haven't really experienced what we really experienced. And if you ain't experienced it, you really don't know how to get through it, or you can't give me any advice on how to tackle my problems or my issues. So my goal was to bring a different perspective on the rim of I've been there, I've done that. And I've tried a million things, and only certain things work when you connect with certain people. At the end of the day, everything don't work. So what drives me is finding out what interest is, what's the best interest for a certain community, because everything is not good for everybody. But if we meet in the middle and bridge the gaps, I think
Mm-hmm.
that we can actually come up with a comprehensive action plan that everybody
Mm-hmm.
can benefit from, and not just a certain group of people. So,
Well, that's why I like you. I'm gonna just interject because see, you have that edge. A lot of people like to direct people when they have positions of power, but it's hard for you to really feel the full scope of what's going on when you haven't been there, when you haven't been into the judicial system, when you haven't walked back there in those gates and actually know what's going on and how those people are being treated. When you never actually been in trouble to get a lawyer, the public defender, when you've been racially discriminated on and you have no voice. A lot of people in positions of power have not been in those type of positions. So that's why I like you, because you have that edge. You've been there, you've done that, you're real, raw, and relevant. And the people need to know that um you're on their side. You could feel that emotion. You felt that pain before. You felt all those feelings that you felt while going through those processes. So that I just wanted to interject that in. That's why, I like you. I like what you're doing and what you stand for. I want to see. So you're involved in the what is it? The community roundtable. What is that all entail?
well, the community roundtable is a group of individuals that fight for the rights of the community, for the citizens of the community. We advocate for useful resources, not just any resources though, and I think that's what sets us apart from
Okay.
everybody else, is because just because uh, South City has a boys and girls club. A boys and girls club may not be good for the north side of town. It may need
Mm-hmm.
something more, more. It may need something else other than a club. It may need a group of mental health specialists. So I think what happens is we tend to try to give everybody the same dose of medicine when everybody can't take the same dose, because it's not going to help them. So our
Right.
goal is to identify the direct needs of a group of
Okay.
people and communities and give them what they need. It's it's a I struggle with us trying to give. It's just a thin line, man. I can't really explain that. I can't really explain it, but from where I stand is I'm different from you. You different from me. Just because
Mm-hmm.
what I went through, you went through it, but you may need something more or different than what I did to get me past what I did. So I want to know what you
Right.
need, and what you need. Guess what? We finna go get. And it's not about what I think you need. And that's what I think sets us apart from the other organizations that's around here, because we go by what the individual and the community needs as a whole versus what we think that, or we trend, or what goes on in other communities, or what worked for this community ain't gonna work for that community, or what worked for this town ain't gonna work for that town, what worked for this state don't work for our state. And I think us as elected officials, that's what we refer to once we go to solve a problem. It's okay, well, how do they do it in Jacksonville, or how do they do it in Orlando? And from where I sit, it's totally different. You can't compare us to Jacksonville or Orlando, because we're dealing with a different group of set of people, a different geographic location, and a totally different realm of racism, systematic racism, prejudice, whatever you want. It's totally different from every different area. So, I mean, that's what we focus on. We focus on making sure the community needs are met, and not individual platforms as far as leaders and uh, uh, elected officials.
Okay. Okay. Well, I see. I looked over your page and I see that you have been posting some information about people being certified in Word and different things. Can you tell us a little about that? And I believe you have like a mentor group. Um, that's that you're doing different things. So can you tell us, people, they always want a new job but don't have the skills, and they always want something new and don't have those credentials. So I believe that this is either grant funded or free to them to, to get in and get those certifications and qualifications, because a lot of people won't, but just won't show up. And that's half of the problem, is showing up. If you want better, you want to do better, you have to show up. So Mr. Leland, he's offering all these services. Listen, you all coming on, you need to tag and share, because somebody needs to know what's going on. These services are available. I want you to just expound a little bit on these services that you have going on.
Yes. We've Community Roundtable is partnered with the Peacock Center. And the Peacock Center is a center that is going to be offering Microsoft Word, Microsoft Excel, PowerPoint, Access, and accounting software, QuickBooks, general accounting, payroll, and tax preparation. What we've been looking at, and what we see is that individuals that start businesses, these are some of the things that you're going to need to know. These are some of the things that you're going to need to be so you can stand on and build a foundation. And pretty much everybody uses accounting software now. It's not pen and paper no more. Everybody using Microsoft and
right, with shifting.
Exactly. So, and what we want to do is we want to make sure that each individual in our community has the opportunity to be at the same level as everybody else in other communities, and to be knowledgeable on Microsoft, to be knowledgeable in QuickBooks, to be knowledgeable in tax preparation. So we set out, and it's a grant funded program, and yes, it is free. We also, the Community Roundtable also reached out to INJ Associates, which is our consulting firm, and we're partnering with them to do the business aspect of this side of the program, because we're going to be offering it to business too, as well as individuals. So if you own a business, it's come on, it's free. You can visit INJ Associates at gmail.com, and it's IN as the letter NJ Associates. 20@gmail.com. Send them an email, let them know you're interested. They'll forward the information over to us. We'll get you right on in. I don't necessarily have a mentoring that I mentor myself, but I am partners with the Community Roundtable is partnered with the Life Center. The Life Center is what we call the Village, which we also partner with several different mentoring. Girls of Diva, Omega Lamplighters, the Dream Center, Born to Men out of Quincy. And those just to name a few. Oh, Unconquered, just to name a few. So I work closely with those individuals with their event planning, getting out, mentoring the youth. And that's pretty much it. And I sit in on a lot of city commission meetings, CRA meetings, blueprint meetings, because these meetings are the meetings that is going to direct the future of Tallahassee as far as businesses go, affordable housing, homelessness. All these issues play a part in our community. And we as individuals in the community, we have to be knowledgeable of what's going on so we can help direct the direction of our city. Because at the end of the day, we talk about, I think the blueprint is worth like $35 billion, if I'm not mistaken. CRA is worth 35 million, if I'm not mistaken. So it's money to be put back in the community. But at the end of the day, if these people who make the decisions to do whatever they want to do with them, to make the decisions with the money, if they don't have our input and know what we need and what we want and need, we can't direct the money, and the money just sit there.
And I just want to interject right quick. A lot of people, they talk about what's going on with the city government. They talk about what's going on with the school system. They talk about low employment, high unemployment rates. They talk about all this thing, but us, we have to understand, especially as a Black culture, Latino culture, Asian, any culture, that we have to show up. They don't have our input without us being present. We can't just keep crying about the problem. We can't just keep calling, talking about the problem all day on the phone with our auntie, sister, friend. We have to show up. We have to show up to the meetings. It is our civic duty to be involved because the children are the future. We live in this area, Tallahassee, and if you want it better, you have to make it better. You have to, I mean, one or two, if one or two are gathered, we can move numbers. 300, 400, we can move numbers, but you can't execute anything. You can't bring a movement to something or attention to any topic without being present. And that's our thing here. We talk a lot in this city, but we don't show up. And a lot of people don't put their mouth where their money is to actually make some things happen for us. So what do you say to that person that's just been sitting around not doing their civic duty as a law abiding citizen? Like what do you tell those people that are just loafing around and talking and not doing anything about it?
Well, first, I would say that the most important thing is not to me is not going to the meetings. The most
Okay.
important thing is being knowledgeable of what's going on, because you don't necessarily have to be to a meeting to voice your opinion. I mean, but you
Okay.
do need to know the facts, the laws, the policies, and the procedures around whatever the situation is. And you can send out emails. When I first started this, I was I was what they call a loose cannon. I would just go, 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 but boom, 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 boom. So
Yeah.
and to my credit, it got a lot of work done, but it also hindered a lot of work because I wasn't educated on how things are moved within the system. And I think that
Okay.
is where we lack is our education and how government really works. Because
Mhm.
if we truly knew how government really worked, then it would be no problem coming to a meeting. And the reason why I think we don't come to meetings is because we're not knowledgeable of how things will work. And to me, it had to grow on me. I had to learn what was the procedures of these meetings. What is the importance of me being here, and what
Mhm.
is the importance if I make a comment? How does that affect the outcome of y'all decisions? I
Right.
really think that it's all about learning how to move. And for me, I say this all the time: it's educating, educate, educate. You have to know before you can talk. And I think a lot of people hear me on Facebook, because I go and I may go into a situation, but trust me, I'm very knowledgeable. I know what I'm talking about, and I'm not just going to throw nobody out there without being able to back up what I say. And I think that's really
Right.
been
Without
our
knowing those
problem.
facts.
Yeah, that's
Mhm.
been our problem. It's like we'll jump to this, but all in all, we really don't know how to get it done, where to even start at. We just got an idea, you know what I'm saying? And don't get me
Right.
wrong, I do think everything starts with an idea, but after that idea, you have to have a plan. You have to have resources. You have to have networking to be able to make that idea come to fruition. You know what I'm saying? So for me, it's more of us being knowledgeable of what's going on and educating ourselves on how the government works. Um, I am working on some governmental educational programs that I'm gonna try to
Okay.
kick off from. I'm gonna begin with Commissioner Porter, and she's starting a just to let everybody know, she's starting a town hall meeting every week on Thursday at 7 o'clock, I think. And we're gonna and in there she's gonna be explaining how the government works, what important issues that she feel that gonna affect certain communities to get input on these. And trust me, these commissioners are not the people, not the type, well, the ones that I deal with, all of them.
Mhm.
They're not the type that will not listen to you. That it's easy. All you have to do is go to the website, send them an email. They gonna respond. Now, when you send the email, know what you're talking about, please. You know what I'm saying? Don't just go and jump out there and
Right.
just talking, because these emails make a impact on what happens or what direction we go in. And I think
Right.
that's what we have to understand, is that our voice do carry weight, but when we voicing ourselves, let's make sure that we pushing the right way and in the right place.
Right, right, right. Well, this is just a lot of information. I also want to say, what is in closing, what is the future for you? What in the community roundtable, where do you foresee yourself going in the next 12 months? I know with everything going on, you've been on a few political campaigns, being a manager, you've been really pushing a lot of social issues, social injustice, just socially being an advocate for a whole lot of issues. What are your plans in the next 12 months here in
What
Tallahassee?
what to be honest, I really don't I don't really move by my ambitions. When I started when I got into this, I told God, I said, use me how you see fit. So I don't know what God has planned for me. I do know that I'm gonna be embedded in the community, but at what level, I don't know. As far as the community roundtable is gonna do what it do in the community, whether I'm here or not. That's the way it was set up. I really in the next year, I kind of want to. I mean, last couple of years been kind of draining. I kind of want to focus on me personally and my personal life. But as far as out in the community, I don't know. Wherever God lead me, whatever my destiny is, whatever my job, whatever my task, that's where I be. As I said, we got the main focus is making sure that the community in itself is empowered through all programs that's available through city, county, local, grassroots, individual programming, whatever it is. That's
Hmm.
that's our goal for the next years, to making sure that we empower the community with these resources. I also think I'm I'm looking at COVID too, so I don't know what.
I mean, we don't know what the future holds. I mean,
Yeah,
it's
so
just
but
it's
I
all in
do
the
know it's
air.
gonna be great. I do know
Hmm.
that this upcoming year is gonna be a year of reaping what we sowed this year. I think a lot of people look at this year and look at it as a bad year, but if you really look at it, this has really, outside of the science part of COVID, it really is. If we look at it, it's been a blessed year. It's been for certain people in certain situations. If you took advantage of God slowing everything down, it's been a blessed
Right,
year for you.
right,
And I think that moving forward, I think we need to be ready for God to speed it back up, because he's ready to make some moves. He's gonna put some people in some places. He's gonna do some things in the Black community. He's gonna level the playing field. It's gonna be equal opportunities around here. Everything's coming. You just have to be ready. And I hope that everybody is willing to do their part. And we have to understand too, when I said, and this is what got me, I was talking to a friend the other day, and I was like, man, when I told God to use me, I didn't know he was going to use me like this, but I'm ready. So you have to be ready when you're asking
right.
for a task or a duty. So wherever God put me, man, whatever God got me going, um, I'm there and full effect, man. So it's all on him, man. So whatever he do, that's what we'll be. The community roundtable gonna be here to stay. Whitfield Leland gonna be out here. If y'all need me, y'all know how to get in touch with me. If I can help, y'all just let me know. We stand on facts, we stand on truth, and we stand on belief. So if we got all three of those, I think we can move, like you said, two or more joined together. He is in the midst. We can move mountains.
Right. I just want to thank you for being that community advocate, because a lot until COVID came, I wasn't really involved, and then everything turned into Zoom and being online, the Leon County School Board meetings. I'm just gonna be honest, like I don't know when these meetings are. I don't know, I wasn't paying attention to that. I wasn't paying to the attention to the political things that were going on till they put the commissioner meetings all online and different things like that because of COVID. So that brought more awareness to me. It's like, oh, this is where they're sending the money. This is what they're doing. This is what people are They're doing construction in this area. This is how much it's gonna cost. They want to put this building here. This is what this is gonna do to the community. They're gonna knock down 5, 10 houses that people stay at. I wasn't really aware, to be honest, until COVID came. So it brought awareness to me. And if it wasn't for people like you, that let us know what was going on, I would be lost. So I just want to thank you for, you broadcasting what's going on, how it's going on, when it's going on, good people of character to, vote for, good people of character to be connected with, good businesses to be connected with, because people need to know. They don't know. They go to work, they have so much other things going on. You've been that bridge builder. And from my platform, Lady K Motivates, I just want to thank you, because this is something that will motivate the people and inspire them and empower them to say, hey, Mr. Leland, he knows what's going on. Give him a call, inbox him, and I only put people on my platform that are integral. So I just want to thank you for coming on today and sharing your knowledge, talking about the community roundtable, talking about your passion. I really love these raw stories. And I thank you for just bleeding and telling a little bit of your testimony and your passion and your thrive behind what you do, because it's so needed. Every success story has a story where has a testimony behind it. And I just thank you for, bleeding your heart out a little bit and telling me and the community what's going on. So thank you so much for coming on to the show today.
And I just want to say thank you too, man, for sharing your platform. I think a lot of times what we don't realize is that a lot of people get platforms and we don't like to share due to maybe what the individual got going on. But we have to understand that people within inside our platforms also seek guidance from other people outside the platform that we are actually on. So it's a blessing to be able to share the platform with you, man. I'm grateful. I'm very grateful. And I just want to say one more thing to all the leaders and elected officials that do serve our community. Please understand that everybody, we understand that everybody have their own lane, and we have to stay in our own lane, man, to reach the goal. And if we stay in our own lane and do our job as community leaders, and I'm not the only community leader out here, y'all. I mean, it's a ton of us out here, and at the end of the day, we may not always agree on certain issues, but our job is to come together and put forth a comprehensive action plan for our community that benefits the community as a greater good and not individualized. So I just want to let each and every one of y'all know I'm not the only one out here, not the only one doing this work, man. It's plenty of people out here doing great work. And I just want to tip my hat off to those people, and y'all know who y'all are, that's out here in this community doing the same thing I'm doing day in and day out, man. I appreciate y'all and I love y'all, and let's continue to work hard in our community.
Thank you for coming on, Mr. Leland. You have an awesome day.
You too. Thank you. Be blessed.
Okay. Listen, today we had an awesome show. You need a community advocate. I was led, Mr. Leland is a friend of mine, but like I said, I only put people on here that are integral, that are actually moving and shaking. You might not think that you have a civic duty to be out in the community, to know what's going on. But let me tell you, you do. It's been so many times that I wasn't around, and people knew me. They knew my children. They might have been caught up in something. They grabbed them. That was their civic duty. A lot of people know me or know my family. They told me about different opportunities. That was their civil duty. Listen, I am your sister. I am your friend. I am your prayer partner. I am your bridge builder. We have an obligation to have a civic duty in helping each everyone, pulling each other up. I wanted Mr. Leland to come on and just tell his testimony. Listen, he's been incarcerated. He's been in social injustice, racial injustice situations, but he's come out and he's letting people know that you could do better and you could be better. And that is what is fueling his passion to be a community advocate and have the company, the community roundtable. Again, this platform does cost. So if you're led to sow, you can cash at me at Cash App Lady K5 to keep this show up and running, because listen, it was put on my heart from the inspiration of God to have this platform, to have people come on and let you know what you need, because that's how my topics are running. You need this, you need that. I'm bringing everything to the forefront. Again, if you're watching this on the replay, share and tag somebody who needs to get in touch with Mr. Leland. He has a lot of activities. Stay connected with me as I bring people onto this platform. Continue to tag and share. Also let them know that Lady K Motivates is also on YouTube. It's streaming over there. I want to thank each and every one of you all for coming on today as we're in this celebratory season. Just know that everybody doesn't have, just be prayerful and just be watchful, because 2020 has been hard, but we're motivated to be executing and living in our now today. So again, I thank you. I love you. If you need me, call me or inbox me if you want to be on this platform. And today, just know that it is a civic duty as a mom, as a brother, as a friend, as a pastor, as a leader, to be involved in the community. We cannot have the community to be better, greater, or stronger without your input, without your know-how, without your fortitude, without your dignity, without your voice. So we are civic. We're doing our civic duty by being advocates. We know what's going on in our community. We know what changes need to go on, and we might not know how it needs to happen, but we could tell somebody, and they can tell somebody that knows somebody in a higher power how to get it done. Until next time, Lady K Motivates, we love you. I hope you were inspired, empowered to just on this topic on today. And again, remember to tag and share, and if you're led to sow, the Cash App information is down below. Again, have a blessed day.